Yes, hi everyone. In this video, I'm going to talk about scandalous material and why this is important why scandalous matter needs to be avoided. When scandalous material is basically pleaded in the pleadings, because that's where it's actually finds its place in the pleadings. Um, the courts basically, upon a motion um, to strike out that material, will do it, provided that certain requirements are met. Now, um, why what is actually considered scandalous material, and that would be a first place to start from. Now, scandalous matter is, let's say, facts or allegations in the pleadings that are pleaded and are both unnecessary and are both harmful uh, for the plaintiff's case and the plaintiff's character. Now, why is there a need to strike out the scandalous material? There's a need to strike out the scandalous material because it can really take a toll on the the pleading and on the individual as well. So it doesn't really stay within the contours of the pleading itself, but it goes beyond the scope of the pleading. And this is why the courts take a very strict stance when it comes to scandalous material. Um, so something that is scandalous is material that is relevant to the case, because, and that's one of the one of the first elements that make up the scandalous material. It needs to be irrelevant, because if it is relevant, um, let's say if it's relevant to the case, to the cause of action that you plead, then it does not really prejudice the party, or even if it alleges, if it imputes, let's say, some ludicrous allegations or allegations that go uh, to undermine the his credibility or his moral compass, uh, or allegations that perhaps embarrass his credentials and his personality, that he really doesn't that he wouldn't, or any other person in his position, that basically allegations that could have been thought of being universally embarrassing for someone to uh, be imputed to. Then, if they're necessary, there's really no scandalous allegation. There's really no scandalous material, because they're necessary. You need those allegations in order to be able to make up your case. They are an integral part, constituent of your cause of action. So there wouldn't really be anything scandalous in that sense. The acid test that determines eventually whether certain material is going to be scandalous, either a paragraph in the pleading, certain allegations, certain facts, is whether the material alleged to be scandalous is admissible as evidence in court. So you got to remember that. For example, there seems to be an issue with previous convictions. When someone has been convicted in a previous proceeding, now he has been convicted, through different witnesses and under different procedure, the criminal procedure, for a different standard, and perhaps through different, and also through different elements of the offense. So, admitting his conviction as evidence of a certain outcome, a certain state of events in a civil trial for, let's say, that actually relates to the same facts, to damages arising out of the same facts, would not be allowed because of the finality of judgments. So therefore, it is irrelevant and it cannot be admitted in that trial. So finally, that is the test. Is it admissible as evidence in court? So if it is irrelevant, it's not admissible as evidence. If it is relevant, then it is admissible as evidence in court, regardless of the fact that it may be embarrassing, basically, or be an outrageous allegation, because you need it. So remember. Now, in order to summarize, an allegation, in order to be scandalous, needs to be both unnecessary, which means irrelevant. It needs to be also embarrassing in one way or the other. You know, when a scandalous allegation, what kind of scandalous allegation do, and why is it so important that scandalous allegation? Why is it important that they are being struck out of the pleading? The reason is because when an allegation stays in the pleading is the Bible of the trial. It basically determines how the trial is going to proceed. And every time there is a misunderstanding of facts, or there's a clash of facts, the judge is going to look at the pleading to see what he's being pleaded, so the parties don't make up things as they go and trying to introduce certain material that actually suits them as the case progresses, and thus prejudice the hearing, right? So it doesn't. A pleading actually makes sure everything is fixed, and the parties stick to what they have pleaded initially. So if those scandalous allegations, which are both unnecessary and undermine the credibility. I mean, you can definitely undermine someone's credibility as long as this is relevant, as long as the discrediting allegations are necessary and relevant with your case. But if you're undermining someone's character, if you're making him look not credible before the court, if you impute behavior that is morally culpable, you prejudice him, you prejudice his case. This is, you are dragging his name through the mud, and there is evidence is going to be allowed to be adduced basically into the trial in order to prove those allegations. So this can go beyond simply mentioning the certain allegations. This can have negative effects and negative impact on the life of this person. It can infringe its right to privacy, right? And beyond that, it can even be a method of blackmailing the other party into dropping his case and not pushing forward with his case, out of fear that he will be exposed. He will be exposed to the scandalous allegations, which are going to be attempted to be proved, basically, and he may not want to have this allegation surfaced in a public forum. Now, thanks very much for watching. This video is only for informational purposes only, and please subscribe to my channel for more videos like that.